From a teenage boy scribbling wild sci-fi ideas in his notebook to a massive, record-breaking production. These are 20 random facts you never saw in The Fifth Element. Fact 1. Luc Besson began creating the story for The Fifth Element when he was just 16 years old. At that age, he wasn't thinking about making a movie at all. Instead, he built a huge imaginary world to escape into, full of characters, places, and adventures he could explore in his mind. This early passion became the seed for one of the most famous sci-fi films ever made. Moving from the starting point, his ideas quickly grew into something much bigger than just a teenage hobby. Fact 2. From that first spark, Besson wrote a massive first draft, which was more than 400 pages long. It wasn't simply a film script, but the blueprint for a planned trilogy. His story included countless alien races, new languages, entire planets, and complex political struggles. This world was far larger than what audiences eventually saw on screen. After narrowing it down, only a fraction of his original version made it into the movie. Building on that, even the casting process had its own surprises and changes. Fact 3. Before Bruce Willis became Corbin Dallas, the studio actually wanted Mel Gibson for the role. Gibson was considered the safer, more traditional action star at the time, but Bruce Willis brought a more chaotic, playful energy that fit perfectly with the movie's tone. This choice helped turn Corbin Dallas into the iconic hero fans still love today. Moving away from the main character, even the villain's casting had its own unique story behind it. Fact 4. Gary Oldman agreed to play the villain Zorg mostly as a personal favor to Luc Besson. He barely read the script and reportedly didn't enjoy the movie itself. Yet, despite his lack of interest, Oldman gave a wildly memorable performance filled with strange mannerisms and over-the-top energy. As the casting continued, even the search for the perfect Lilo became a huge undertaking. Fact 5. Over 8,000 actresses auditioned to play Lilo, the mysterious woman at the heart of the story. Casting directors were looking for someone who could feel both alien and human at the same time. Milla Jovovich stood out because of her unique look and natural otherworldly vibe. With the main cast in place, Besson's colorful sci-fi world began to come alive in front of the cameras. Fact 6. The alien diva who holds the universe's secret was played by Luc Besson's wife at the time. While filming, however, Besson began falling in love with Milla Jovovich, who played Lilo. This behind-the-scenes romance changed his personal life even as the film was being made. Moving from personal relationships to creative ideas, the language spoken by Lilo also had a fascinating backstory. Fact 7. Lilo's strange language wasn't random gibberish. Luc Besson and Milla Jovovich actually created an entire language of over 400 unique words. They even used it to secretly communicate between scenes, almost like a private code. This extra effort made the character feel more authentic and alien. From language and culture, Milla also put herself to the test physically in the next fact. Fact 8. Milla Jovovich went beyond acting to perform most of her own stunts, including the famous corridor fight scene. She trained hard in martial arts, choreography, and wire work to make the action feel believable. Her dedication added a sense of realism and intensity to Lilo's character. While Milla was pushing her physical limits, other props on set were also pushing boundaries in risky ways. Fact 9. Zorg's flamethrower wasn't just a fake movie prop, it actually worked. This made it look very realistic on screen, but also extremely dangerous. At one point, the flames nearly went out of control and caused a serious accident on set. From dangerous props, the film also faced challenges with the alien costumes themselves. Fact 10. The Manchawan alien costumes were massive, heavy, and dangerously hot inside. Actors wearing them often struggled to move and nearly collapsed from heat exhaustion. Despite these risks, the costumes helped create the movie's unique and unforgettable alien designs. With costumes, props, and stunts all demanding so much effort, The Fifth Element became one of the most ambitious sci-fi projects of its time. Fact 11. Ruby Rod's leopard print outfit was eye-catching but extremely impractical. It weighed around 50 pounds and was stiff, making it hard to move in. Despite this, Chris Tucker powered through his scenes with full energy, turning Ruby Rod into one of the movie's most unforgettable characters. Moving from costumes to action, even one of the film's biggest explosions had its own incredible story. The Divas Concert Hall explosion wasn't just a small special effect. It was filmed live with a full-scale indoor detonation, the largest ever captured on film at the time. Fact 13. Bruce Willis's and Gary Oldman's characters famously never met on screen. Luc Besson deliberately kept them apart to heighten the sense of indirect conflict. By avoiding a face-to-face confrontation, the tension between hero and villain felt more unpredictable and dramatic. After this bold story decision, the movie's visuals also took a bold step away from tradition. Fact 14. Unlike most dark, moody sci-fi films at the time, The Fifth Element used bright lighting, daylight scenes, and colorful settings to show a lively future. This playful aesthetic set it apart from its gritty, serious competitors. Moving from visuals to casting again, one of the most famous musicians of the time almost played Ruby Rhod. Fact 15. Prince was originally cast as Ruby Rhod, but dropped out after seeing how flamboyant and feminine the costumes would be. When he left, Chris Tucker stepped in and gave the role a completely different energy, funny, chaotic, and high-pitched, which ended up being iconic. With this casting change, the movie cemented its quirky, unforgettable style. Fact 16. When The Fifth Element first came out, critics weren't kind. Reviews called it too weird and too over the top, but audiences quickly embraced it, and over time it became a cult classic. People loved its wild imagination, colorful style, and unforgettable characters. From its growing reputation, the film's unique costumes also helped it stand out from everything else in sci-fi. Fact 17. Fashion legend Jean-Paul Gaultier designed over 1,000 costumes for the film. He created outfits for background characters too, making the entire world feel alive and stylish. This attention to detail gave The Fifth Element a look unlike any other sci-fi movie. Even the ships themselves had a symbolic twist. Fact 18. The Mondo-Sawan ships were inspired by Egyptian geometry. Their shapes hinted at a connection between aliens and the pyramids, suggesting an ancient bond between Earth and outer space. This design choice gave the story an added sense of mystery and history. The movie also combined old-school filmmaking with new technology. Fact 19. The futuristic cityscapes were not purely CGI. Most of them were built using handcrafted miniatures and filmed with motion control cameras. These were then blended with digital effects to create a seamless, believable future world. This mix of practical and digital effects gave the movie its unique visual texture. Finally, even the production itself pushed boundaries in an unexpected way. Fact 20. Although it was a French production, The Fifth Element was filmed entirely in English. It also featured American stars and British crews to appeal to a global audience. At the time, it was the most expensive film ever made in France, showing how ambitious the project really was. With all these bold choices, The Fifth Element became a landmark sci-fi film still loved today. The Fifth Element still proves that taking risks, being creative, and thinking differently can leave a mark that lasts for decades. These facts are just a glimpse into how much love, effort, and imagination went into the film and why it continues to inspire new generations of fans.